Yeah, I think, because I often think about this, I haven't experienced a deep depression, but I think that there is a dip, right? And just a lot of the times when we talk about depression, it's a very major dip for most people. It's like it's, yeah, like having what you were talking about, having a dull view of life and low energy. But I think seeing it in that way is powerful. And especially if you can see it that way when you are in it. Because I know on days when I am like less motivated, which is kind of on that spectrum, like it's like, okay, that's the same thing, although it's not quite as much. It's hard to recognize, like, oh, I'm just in an unmotivated state right now. I just have low energy right now. Because I'm seeing through the view of like, I don't want to do anything today. Like this feels pointless. So yeah, so your role as a therapist, imagining a patient in this place, is that the idea? Analyzing it?
I would say that it's not to analyze. And what I mean by that is I view like analyzing as like an intellectual sort of process. And with depression, like intellectualizing I view as kind of like a left brain sort of activity. And one of my objectives a lot is to try and get clients into their right brain. And that's like the feeling function of the mind. And so for me, a huge part, even just my role as a therapist is one to just like attune to somebody and try and deeply just understand what they're going through, because usually that depression has a voice of some kind, and usually there's meaning in it. And Gabor Maté talks about depression in a way that I really resonate with, which is that, depression is the pushing down of emotions, right? And when we talk about depression, depression itself is not an emotion. Depression could be a state, but essentially when one feels depressed, or they say they feel depressed, underneath that typically is emotions. And if we, as a therapist, will kind of pick at that a little bit. What's actually going on in there? Is it sadness? Is it anger? Where are these emotions inside of your body? And can we tap into and tune into the somatics of the depression, right? And so it's interesting because originally I thought that in therapy, once we understood kind of why somebody's going through something, that it would kind of clear up. And I think that is not the case. Like we can go back through and like understand like, okay, you're feeling depressed because, in your childhood, you weren't able to express anger and, you've pushed that down and now it's stuck inside of your body. And today you're feeling depressed because of that. And they're like, exactly. But like, I'm still depressed, So like, cool, we figured that out, but like, I'm still suffering. Right. And so, ultimately, I think that really the process is like not attempting to remove that depression, but like let's cope with the fact that you're suffering right now and just surrender to it. And let's just accept it. Like, let's just be depressed and be in this moment. And what is it like to be depressed and to go through this? And in an odd way, usually that's more so kind of what moves the energy, inside of somebody, as opposed to just the intellectual understanding of why somebody has it. But yeah, just allowing one to feel into one's depression. And I think depression and anxiety are words that sort of have come from a clinical realm. We've got the DSM, which diagnoses people as depressed or anxious, but I don't know if that's actually accurate to what's happening, right? Because when I can take a client and slow them down and we actually go into depression, I mean, usually there's an emotion there, like I'm fucking angry or whatever, or I'm actually really sad. And I didn't realize that I was sad because, my grandpa's, passing away, or like there's usually something kind of there that once we kind of get past some of the, just the natural defenses of, someone's psyche, that